have Dr. Didar Singh. He is the former Indian civil servant, former Secretary General of Federation of Indian Commerce and Industries. Dr. Singh was the Secretary of Government of India in the Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs from 2009 to 2011, and the finance member of the National Highways Authority of India. Now I would like to invite Dr. Didar Singh. He would be throwing some light on the Indian migration to Gulf or the Gulf situation.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes,
I'm going to actually address three specific issues. I want to first begin with the macro issue, then go on to the Gulf, and then talk about something that I want to address today, which is technology.
Okay.
Professor Pandey, I heard you mention that COVID-19 is not so important now, and it's actually gone into becoming migrants moving or something. I'm a little hesitant to hear that, because this is not going away anywhere. And let me just present the macro picture to you. You know, the world economy as we knew it in 1 year ago or 1.5 years ago was $85 trillion. $85 trillion. And the growth rate of the global GDP was something like about 4.5% is what we were growing at. Suddenly now you have a situation where we have slipped so badly that they're talking about the world GDP now being somewhere around probably 1% or maybe even negative. And even the Indian GDP, they're talking about anywhere from about 0.2% to 0.9%. So it's a very, very major change in the economic situation as we are expecting at the world stage. Now, this is what links to migrants. This is what this tremendous economic downfall or the economic precipice that we are all entered into is what is leading to this mass movement of people away from places wherever there is COVID has impacted and taken away the jobs. Now, on this point, I want you to just understand one thing, which people are not yet probably focusing on. If you look at all the places where there has been the highest amount of COVID-19, you will find that there are places which were professional, places where there was a lot of business, where there was a lot of industry, and where obviously there were a lot of migrants. And what are these places? If you look at North Italy, you look at New York City, you look at London, all these places are where there were a large number of businesses operating, where there was a large number of migrants there, large number of people working, workers who were there, and it is them that have been impacted. Now, talking about the India and the Gulf corridor, which is the point that I want to refer to you about, in that angle, what I want to refer to you is really about technology, of how technology has been used and has been part of the migration process, and where does COVID take it, or what is the impact of COVID-19 on the mobility that is going to happen or is expected in the future also to be part of our situation. Now, on this, I will tell you one thing. Every migrant, irrespective of whether he is going to the Gulf or whether he is a refugee going into Europe, every migrant has a mobile phone. He may not have a passport, he may throw away all his papers, but he'll have a mobile phone. Why? Because this has become something where he associates himself in terms of a certain category of feeling connected to the world, connected to his family, connected to his host, connected to the place that he's at. So everybody has a feeling of connectivity through this particular activity of having a mobile phone or being linked to the internet in some manner. This technology we have seen used in the India Gulf corridor at the best of situations. We have seen government involving itself in it. You have the famous e-migrate project. You have the workers skill centers and something called MIG-Call, which was set up in the Gulf for them. You have also used this technology for information on every aspect of the mobility that you're part of, right from when you first think of going somewhere, right up till where you land, to connect with people that you're there and then connect back home with the people that you're with. So this is a ubiquitous, it's something which is always there with you. Now, this technology aspect is the one which we have to see where is COVID-19 impacting technology in this manner. The most important aspect of COVID-19 is that, of course, it exposes a lot of vulnerabilities in the entire migration process, and due to which you are seeing that there has been a lot of movement both in the mobility of internal migrants who are going back home and of international migrants who are also coming home or returning home, not just India, but from all over the world, and people are taking their people back. Now, what does this actually mean? Now, in a sense, you have, well, the IOM, for example, which defines it only as a different variation of return migration. But I want to kind of refer to this as something which is a little different. Return migration was always voluntary, whereas this is reverse migration. This is migration where you're compelled to go back because you have no future, you have no job, you have no food, you have no place to stay. This is what is leading to an entire situation of now having to look at finding different ways to manage yourself. In this, I need to tell you, when I'm talking about technology, that besides the vulnerabilities and the healthcare issues that we see all over the world, the real issue and the benefits of this are also there because of technology. The same migrants who are compelled to now look at new avenues actually get both awareness as well as information through technology. They get it through their mobile phones, they get it from their friends, they get it from the internet. They're able to have this information which is so essential in managing their lives. The second thing that they get is connectedness. They get connectedness both with their people around them, they get connectedness with back home, they get connectedness with the Indian embassy or whatever else which is necessary to find where you have to go. And finally, of course, online shopping. They're able to get food and they get able to get somehow to manage and then also get information on their return. India, as you know, has launched a large number of flights to bring people back from the Gulf. And this is really resulting in people being able to know about it and be able to actually come back to their homes. But having come back to their homes, this is the last point that I want to make here. What we saw as globalization is now going to be seen as localization. In other words, if you went abroad and you went something for work, or you went something to find new opportunity, you will now have to find it locally. And that is the real issue that we have to all address. Somehow being able to find local activity, local jobs for these people and be able to manage. Thank you very much.